Let's jump right into a section on the periodontium. We've got a lot of really good information here, but after going through and reviewing old test questions, you're not going to see many actual questions from this section. So if you have the time, read through this. But we really only expect to see about 3 to 4 questions here. The periodontium is composed of 2 main components. We've got the gingiva that protects everything under it, and we've got the attachment apparatus. Let's break the attachment apparatus down into its 3 main components. The PDL is the first of the 3 components of the attachment apparatus. It is made of strong fibers that have Sharpie fibers on the end of them. Sharpie's fibers are made of collagen and attached to cementum and bone. Make sure and know there are 4 main functions of the PDL. They attach tooth to bone, they transmit occlusal forces, they provide sensory feedback, they provide nutrients to all the surrounding structures of the tooth. There are 6 types of PDL fibers. You can read about them in your book. I'm going to only highlight 2 of them that we've seen asked the most on the test. This is the only fiber that connects tooth to tooth. When you're getting ready to extract a tooth and you release the gingival cuff, this is the fiber that you're separating. The other group I want to highlight is the oblique fibers. This is by far the largest group. They bear the brunt of the occlusal force, and this is the main one you need to know. Cementum is the second main component of the attachment apparatus. It covers the root surface of the tooth. It's very hard and acts like bone. Make sure and note that collagen is the main protein component of cementum. Cementum's major role is to attach Sharpie's fibers. Cementum covers the surface of the root all the way up to the CEJ of the tooth. If cementum falls short of this is when you get sensitivity, either by not forming up there or frequently when people brush aggressively, they'll get hot and cold sensitivity, and that's because of lack of cementum coverage on the root surface. Another term I want to highlight is ankylosis. Ankylosis occurs when there is no PDL fiber and cementum is connected directly to bone. This may be after an avulsion, sometimes during an impaction, but ankylosis is the absence of a PDL fiber. The third and final component of the attachment apparatus is the alveolar process. This is the bone that surrounds and supports a tooth. Know that when a tooth is lost, this bone will gradually recede and disappear. This bone is thinnest on the facial surface of anterior teeth. Make sure you know, because they like to ask that question about where in the body is it the thinnest. It's very thin over the maxillary anteriors, but especially over these mandibular anteriors is one of the thinnest spots in the whole body. Let's move on from the attachment apparatus and talk about mucosa. Take a look at the diagram in your book. You will see the 3 types listed in your book. Let's focus on the masticatory mucosa, specifically the gingiva. Remember, the role of the gingiva is to protect everything underneath of it. It takes a lot of abuse during eating, so it has to be firmly attached and keratinized to be tough. In this diagram, you'll see how it's attached both to the bone and stops just short of the gingival margin, which forms the gingival sulcus. That wraps up our section on the periodontium. Remember, we can only expect to see 3 to 4 questions here. We've hit the highlights, things we've seen repeatedly asked. So review those. You guys are going to do awesome here.